Hi folks, Frank Halverson here for this week's KVGC Les Schwab Tire Pigskin Preview. When we come back, we'll look at a couple big games from Mother Lode League action last week, and this week it's rivalry week, so we'll look at the big three games coming up, so stay tuned.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks!
Thanks for not just selling me tires.
Thanks for running out to my car to greet me.
Like running.
Thanks for checking my brakes for free!
For fixing my flat
For free.
And being just hassle-free.
For talking to me like an intelligent human being.
You don't see that too often.
Thanks for hustling to get me out of there.
Without making me feel hustled.
So thanks.
Thanks. Thanks for doing the right thing by not just selling me tires.
Les Schwab Tires. Doing the right thing matters.
Well, after week 2 of Mother Lode League play, Sonora, as expected, remains the only unbeaten team left. Sonora knocked Amador from the ranks of the unbeaten with a solid 35-14 win over the Buffaloes. Amador would take an early lead on a long touchdown pass from Burns to Keeter. Sonora would answer right back with a score of their own, and this game was tied at 7. Then Sonora found out what I've been saying all season long: don't kick the ball to Thedford. Well, they didn't get the memo, and Thedford returned a punt 81 yards, and the Buffs were ahead 14-7. That would be the last time that Amador would find the end zone, as Sonora tied it up right before half, and just like the week before, pitched a shutout in the second half. The final score, Sonora 35, Amador 14. Our game of the week was everything we expected and more, with Calaveras squeezing out a 28-21 victory. Calaveras scored on their first possession, capped off by a 5-yard run by Noah Pruce. On Argonaut's next possession, the Mustangs had it 1st and 10 from their own 27. Albiani dropped back to pass, and let's hear what happened. Everybody close to the line. I mean, they've got 8 guys in the box. Albiani wants to throw, and he's got an open receiver. That's caught. I believe that's Andrew Hernandez. He breaks free. He's at the 30, at the 20, to the 10. Touchdown, Mustangs!
Great play. Great play by number 22, Andrew Hernandez. And he caught that ball in traffic. And you know what, guys? I'm going to call that one right there. I think that one is going to be our utility telecom play of the game. Ryan Albiani to Andrew Hernandez for the touchdown.
73-yard hookup. Well, that was our play of the game. 73 yards, Albiani to Hernandez, and we were tied at 7. Calaveras would find the end zone again, this time on a 28-yard Bird to Gian Gregorio connection, 14-7 at the end of the first quarter. In the second quarter, Ramage would intercept a Bird pass, and Mason Flores would finish the drive with a tough 20-yard run, and it was 14-14 at halftime. In the third quarter, Gian Gregorio would get loose again, this time on a 78-yard touchdown run. With a mixed extra point, Calaveras was up by 6, and we said at that time that point could prove to be big. Well, Argonaut would answer with an 8-yard Flores touchdown, and at the end of the third quarter, it was the Mustangs 21 and Calaveras 20. Calaveras would mount an 80-yard drive capped off by a 15-yard TD from Bird to Threet. They went for 2 after missing the 1-point conversion, and the 2-point conversion was good. Another pass from Bird to Threet, and Calaveras led 28-21. Argonaut had one more shot, and they marched the ball all the way down to the 20-yard line, but couldn't quite punch it in. Final score, Calaveras 28, Argonaut 21. The other league game, Somerville, easily defeated Linden 33-9, and Bret Hart won a non-league game 41-0 over Winners. Well, this week, it's rivalry week. All the county schools play each other. Sonora versus Somerville, Calaveras versus Bret Hart, and of course, our game of the week, Argonaut travels to Amador. Well, let's talk about that big game. This is one of the longest standing rivalries in the state of California for high school. Now, the record books don't acknowledge that because of the change of names from Jackson High School to Argonaut High School. I think there should be an asterisk, but it should still be recognized as one of the longest running rivalry games in the state that goes back to the early 1900s. Well, this game over the years has been a game it's been streaky. Argonaut had won the bell for 10 years in a row, and Billy Baker came back, and Argonaut was favored in this one, and they traveled over to Jackson, and Amador upset Argonaut to take the rotary bell that is exchanged at each game with all the scores on it from the beginning of this rivalry. Amador would take the bell back. And on the bus ride home, we had to go back to the archives in 2013, and we want to show you a little clip of Coach Baker on Main Street in Sutter Creek. Well, you think this game doesn't mean a lot to both sides? I'll tell you, Billy Baker was pretty excited when he jumped off that bus and got in the middle of Main Street and showed us his moves. This week, it should be another great game. Both teams coming up with a league loss after both falling last week from the ranks of the unbeaten. Argonaut will travel over to Amador. And a couple keys to the game for both teams here. I really believe that Argonaut needs to eliminate those big flash plays that Amador has scored on so regularly all year long. We've talked about that before. They score yardage in big chunks. And last week was no exception for Amador on their 2 touchdowns. One long touchdown pass by Burns and the other a punt return by Thedford. Nobody should be punting the ball to Dalen Thedford. He is just too fast. So Argonaut needs to eliminate what I call those shock plays if they're going to stay in this one. On the other side of the ball, there's not a lot of depth on Amador. They have a lot of kids that play both ways. So if Argonaut can just be methodical and drive the ball down the field and keep the defense on the field, I think they're going to have a better chance to win this game. It really should be a good one. Both these teams are going to be fired up. They both come in 1-1, not wanting to drop that second league game to stay in the hunt for the championship. And so we hope you're going to be there. We're going to be at Amador for this big game. This week there's a lot of things going on. The rally in downtown Jackson, the parade in Sutter Creek. It's a lot of fun for the students, and you as community members should get involved because bring your kids down. Watch the kids' excitement getting ready. The floats will be on Main Street for the rally on Wednesday night for Argonaut, and then the parade in Sutter Creek, I believe, is going to be on Friday. So you could check out the local listings and make sure you get the right times for that. But make sure you join us for this big rivalry week, Amador versus Argonaut, our game of the week, and we hope you're there with us.